You don't live in the world you think you do.
I want y'all to check this out. This is a clip that we seen, I want to say maybe a year or two ago. However, it's the context in it is perfect.
An opinion on voter ID laws?
Yeah, they're usually pretty racist and they're bad.
I think voter ID laws are a way to perpetuate racism.
Would you go as far as say those laws are racist?
For sure.
Do you think it suppresses the African American vote?
Definitely.
Tell us how.
Because they're less likely to have state IDs.
Minority voters are less likely to have the kinds of IDs that have been described or required.
These type of people don't live in areas with easy access to DMVs or other places where they can get identification.
You can always get IDs you do over the internet. Does that also make it difficult for black people in particular?
Yeah, you have to have access to the internet. You have to be able to pay an internet service provider for certain fees.
Do you think that's harder for black people to go online?
Well, I feel like they don't have the knowledge of how it works.
A lot of people have smartphones, but you might not have data.
For most of the communities, they don't really know what is out there just because they're not aware or they're not informed. I also think there's a repression of black voting with how if you're a convicted felon, you're not allowed to vote and everything. And when you look at swing states like Florida, that's a huge population of the African Americans.
Now I'm here in East Harlem to ask black people their thoughts on what you just heard. Do you have ID normally? You carry ID around?
Yes, I have state ID.
Do you carry ID?
Yes, I do.
Do you know any black person who doesn't carry ID?
No. Everyone that I know has an ID. Why would they think we don't have ID?
That's a lie. Why would they say that?
Do you have ID?
Yes.
Because I have my ID and my friends have their ID, so we know what we need to carry around.
Everybody that I know have ID. That's one of the things you need to walk around with New York with, ID.
Do you know any black adult who does not have ID?
No, I don't.
Is it a weird thing to even say that?
Yes, it is.
What is this, some type of trick candy camera?
I know, right?
That's the only thing I brought with me.
Those are legit IDs. I heard a lot also that black people can't figure out how to get to the DMV.
Really?
What does that say to you?
I know it's that. It's on 25th Street.
Do you know where the DMV is around you?
It's on 125th Street and 3rd Avenue, I believe.
You know how to get there?
Yeah.
Would you have a problem getting there if you had to get there?
No.
I know these sound like silly questions. You know how to get to the DMV?
Of course.
You know where it is?
Yes.
You can get there?
Uh-huh.
No problem.
No problem.
Just checking.
Okay.
And I also heard a lot that black people, especially poor black people, have no access to the internet, can't figure out how to use the internet.
That's just stupidity, honestly. Everybody has access to the internet. Even a little kid can figure out how to work the internet.
I had access to the internet for years.
You know how to use it properly, right?
Exactly. I do it at work. So, of course, I know how to use it. My kids know how to use it. They all have iPads, iPods, whatever.
Your phone has data?
Mm-hmm.
You can actually
Unlimited.
Unlimited data.
Mm-hmm. I use my phone as a hotspot.
What does that say to you for the people who have this perception of black people?
They're pretty much ignorant. That's my thought process on it.
I just think that's ignorant. Ignorant.
Ignorant. That's the word I'm
very
hearing a lot.
ignorant.
Ignorant.
Very, very ignorant.
Does it sound racist for somebody to say that?
I think it is a little racist because, you're putting people in a category and you have no idea what you're talking about.
Maybe a little bit of racist in it, but like I said, I think it's more stupidity and ignorance.
You're judging somebody, but you're judging them because they black, saying that they don't got it.
What people are they talking to? Who are these people talking to?
Do you have a problem that if you go to vote and they say, "Can we please see your ID to make sure you are who you say you are?" Are you
Love showing my ID.
You got no problem with that?
Nope.
Would you have a problem if when you go to vote, if they say, "Can we please just see your ID to make sure you are who you say you are?" Do you have an issue with that?
No.
Would you have a problem if there was a rule where you had to show your ID in order to vote?
I don't think so. No.
Would you have an issue if there was a rule saying you got to show your ID before you vote?
Nah.
Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
Hey. At the center of it. Let's zoom in.
We've got to get this done, and we've got to get it done very quickly. The SAVE Act is an abomination. It's Jim Crow 2.0 across the country. We are going to do everything we can to stop it.
Okay, so this is the Democrat leader in the Senate, Chuck Schumer, and he's lying through his teeth. The SAVE Act is not Jim Crow 2.0. The SAVE Act and Jim Crow are nothing alike. The Jim Crow laws were like state and local statutes that were enforcing racial segregation. On top of that, they would disenfranchise Black Americans through things like poll taxes, literacy tests, grandfather clauses, and violence. That was truly rooted in white supremacy, and it targeted Black Americans to suppress their voting rights and their civil rights. Now let's compare that to the SAVE Act. It's essentially a modern election security measure focused on providing proof of citizenship to be able to register to vote in the United States. So here are a couple highlights of what the SAVE Act does or requires. It requires voters to provide proof of citizenship, for example, a passport, birth certificate, or certain real ID compliant documents that indicate citizenship. And this needs to be done in person. So when registering to vote or updating voting records, it needs to be done in person, and you need your proof of citizenship. It prohibits states from accepting or processing voter registration applications without this proof. It effectively ends or severely limits mail-in registration, online registration, and automatic voter registration like at DMVs unless proof is provided in person. It also requires states to set up alternative processes for other evidence of citizenship if it's needed. And I've been seeing things go back and forth, but I also think it's being added in that it will require voter ID to vote. Like when you go vote, you have to have your ID. This is not discriminating against people based on race. But Chuck Schumer is trying to lie and manipulate people into reacting emotionally to oppose it because he doesn't think it's in Democrats' best interest. And I mean Democrats' political power. Look at this image. What does it say behind him? Rein in ICE, stop violence. Look at the first thing, in the roving patrols. Why do Democrats want to rein in ICE? Because they want less people being deported because it's going to hurt their census numbers when it gets to 2030. It also gives every time someone's deported, that's one less person they can convert from amnesty and have a future voter. So think about it. He wants us not deporting a bunch of illegal immigrants. And then on top of that, he wants our elections less secure. Put those two things together, and what does that make you think? That's interesting, is it not? As a whole, the Democrat Party wants to leave a bunch of illegal aliens in the US and their states, and they want our elections less secure. That's concerning. Chuck Schumer is on stage lying through his teeth, trying to emotionally manipulate people into opposing us having better election integrity.
Now, step away from ideology for a second. Let's look at something colder. Numbers.
SAVE Act is a great idea. 83% of Americans support it, as I learned on CNN this morning, and that includes, 76% of Black Americans, 82% of Latinos, 85% of white Americans. So to me, that's the move. Push the SAVE Act and force Democrats to admit that they are against what 83% of Americans want. I think this is all kind of just a distraction, a bit of nonsense.
Good morning, my fellow Americans. Oh, you about to get this bonnet talk today. Because why did I wake up to so much controversy about voter ID? We still got the left out here being just as racist as the day is long, talking about Black people. We don't know where the DMV is. How did you spell DMV? Stop it. Stop it, lefties, liberals, Democrats. Stop using us as your poster child for all things to get votes in the worst ways. Because first of all, why are you gerrymandering and drawing maps and saying it's because of the Black people? Why are you saying that we do not need voter ID laws because of the Black people? Quit putting it on us. Y'all want votes in the most illegal of ways. That's all it is. But you want to keep using us as your poster children to get them. And I suggest you stop immediately. Quit playing with your racism all up in our faces. And people act like they don't see which side is the side that stays focused so much on race that they are racist just on any given day, for any given reason, because they can use Black people for any given season. Get your life.
Breakthrough Media. Breakthrough Media.